Hello everyone, welcome to my video. This is Emily at the Coloring Oasis. I have for you today a brand new recording. This is Flora Wing Song by Derya Cakirsoy. And I believe, I don't remember, she was either, I think she was a Patreon special. I'll double check if I got her on Etsy or not, but I am on her Patreon. But today I'm going to show you how I'm doing with Ohuhu alcohol markers, a soft kind of blended collage sky. What I started here with these yellows, blues, and grays. All the videos I've been showing you since Christmas have 100% been about 15 videos I recorded months ago when I had an influx of new books and new supplies and things that came in, and I recorded them back to back, and I was saving them for when I was going to have all my surgeries, which I already did and completed, and then I forgot to release them, and then I was making, I didn't think I could make surgeries, make videos when I was doing the surgeries in between every surgery, and I was wrong, and I was still doing videos, so I didn't need to use them. So all the ones I'm doing, showing you all these old books and these Etsy books, and the random hauls and things are all videos I filmed months ago. This is the first video I'm filming in quite a while since before Christmas. I haven't even shown you guys what I've been coloring. I don't think November, December, January, I'm really behind. But I've had a lot of things going on, a lot of life changes and some really hard life things, and so I'm trying to, in fact, this whole desk where I'm filming was covered, just piled and covered with stuff for the last about 7 weeks, and I finally got it clear, so I'm trying to really catch up and get back to where I was. So anyway, I'm going to show you this quick tutorial, and if you look up close, you can see these soft colors, some kind of white and some darker yellow, some lighter yellow, some gray, some blue, and it's a nice soft background here, which we're going to fill in here. And the reason I chose the Derya Cakirsoy printable, and this is on my Nina Express, I'm sorry, not my Nina, my Express blending card, which is a nice silky bright white paper. And you can see in comparison to this one, this is the Nina cardstock I often use. This one's a little more snow white. This one maybe is more of like a milk white, if you can see the difference. This one has a little more of a gloss to it, and it's really great for blending alcohol markers. And Derya's pictures also have a teeny bit of grayscale. You can see in these areas right around to create shadow. So that's to our advantage. And the colors I have today, and this is from an Ohuhu, I believe these are my Ohuhu Oahus, some older ones I'm trying to use up. But I have here BG050, I have MG030, B991, and then for yellows I have Y196 Lemon Chiffon, G193 Crescent Yellow, and then I have an alcohol marker blender. So I want to continue and just do this little section here. This section only has a little bit of a pre-done grayscale right in here, and I really like this method on nice silky blending paper, or really high quality, almost paper that has very low tooth in coloring books, high quality paper. Sometimes the lithographic books work well. But I like when there's a lot of stuff on the page and a smaller amount of background, so I can do small quadrants, a little section, a little section, a little section, a little section. If it's a picture that's a big, huge open sky, you know, like let's say all of this was open or something like that, it's a little harder to do this technique because you have to work kind of fast to get the blend before it dries, and it's harder to do that with a big area, so it works good to do a little bit of areas at a time and then repeat the process. And for some reason my light is flickering. I don't know. You guys see that? I'm going to pause this for a second. I think my light has a short in it, but I don't electrocute myself. Okay, so how I line these up is darkest to lightest. The yellow, the darker yellow, lighter yellow, and the blender are the lightest in order you put in last. So you start with the darker around the outside and work your way to the center of the area you're doing with the lighter color. That's kind of how you get this effect. And the way you can kind of test it is to get a card like this and just put out all your, do all your colors, line them up as you test them, and then rearrange them in order of darkest to lightest at your side where your coloring hand is. That's how I figured that out. And I do that method for a lot of these scenarios. All right, so let's take the darker one. And now with the Express blending card, you don't have to work quite as fast as on a more toothier paper, because this is meant for a marker, this paper. If it was the Nina paper, I'd work a little faster. But anyway, so we're going to start with the Cool Gray. BG050 is the darkest. And I'm just going to kind of do a quick exterior, like a little bit around. And then I'm going to go into the blue, okay? And then I'm going to go into the light gray. And the reason we're not doing gray, gray, blue is because this was the next darkest. And you want the lightest color to blend into the next color shade. The light gray and the light yellow. You don't want to do a dark gray and a light yellow. It won't blend well. Okay, so let's go ahead. Unfortunately, these old Ohuhus, I've had these for like years and years, but they don't have the brush tips. I have the Mega Brush tip set, but I wanted to start using up some of these old ones, so they have the chisels, and that's a little trickier, but we're making it work. So I'm going to just going to do like a little section. I got some pink there. That's fine. We're going to go over it. I'm going to go kind of around here. We're kind of doing an outline of all the stuff inside this quadrant. We're kind of outlining, and don't worry if it's perfect. It's all going to be blended in. Okay. I'm going to go around this bumblebee. I'm going to go up over this grayscale here. Okay, and now that's really it. So I'm going to grab the next color, which is that blue, the MG030. And I'm going to just kind of blend over it and go inward a little. So I'm going over the gray, and I'm going to bring it a little into more into that white space. Not a whole lot, but some. Okay, we're going to go around this bumblebee. We're going over this blue. And alternatively, you can even do the blue first and then the gray. This is just the order that I'm doing it. So I'm going to, theoretically, I'm going to take, that's a tough one. No, I'm going to go right into the light gray. Yeah, let's go into the light gray, the B991. And then I'm going to start blending on the edge. And this one has more of a lavender tint. I'm going to start blending just over where the other one ended, just a little bit overlap. And then also maybe pull the colors together and bring it into the white space a little more. I mean, you can theoretically blend all the way over it. That's fine too. It'll just change the color of the other. So let's just do that. I'll show you how that looks. So we're just going to blend over it all. We're bringing this more into the white area. Trying to get a good blend. Now I'm going to move to the yellow. I'm doing that a little thicker than I did here. We're going to move into the lemon chiffon, the Y196, and I'm going to blend right at that edge. You don't really want to go over all that just yet. So I'm going to blend over the edge. And then I guess just a little over that lavender. I'm going to call it lavender, but it feels lavenderish to me. All right, let's just blend over it in between these little bumblebee's legs. I'm going to kind of go around this leaf, inside the leaf. Now I think I am going to go that yellow a little bit over just to give it more of a tinge of a green. So it's kind of all naturally looks like it goes together. Now we're still leaving this white in the middle. Let's go to the crescent G193. I'm going to finish mostly closing in these colors. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way between the bee's legs. Leaving a little bit of white right there. Maybe just a couple spots. And a touch over some of this with the yellow. Now leave a little bit of that white there. Now let's grab our alcohol marker blender. You need to make sure it's nice and moist. When you touch your skin, it needs to feel like it's wet. And not like, oh, I can't tell, it's got a teeny bit. You want to see an obvious glistening spot. Mine's almost at the point where it's not quite wet enough, but I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to go over that lightest yellow where it ended on the white, and I'm going to pull some of that into the white where we left it white. And then I'm going to just start blending it all together. Okay, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to blend over little bumblebee's legs. This is why we didn't color the bee first. And I'm going to try to get it mostly in the lighter areas. But the way you get that fluffy cloud look is by this. It gives it like a fluffy appearance. So once you've gotten some of all the light areas, then go up into the blue and the gray areas. Just start blending it. The more moist and fresh your alcohol marker blender is, the better this effect will work. So you can see I did a little bit thicker here of the blue and gray than I did down here, because I didn't want so much blue and gray close to the grass, because I wanted the grass to pop out more against like a more whitish yellow. So since this is the higher part of the sky, we're putting in a little more blue and gray for kind of a stormy, half sunny, half blue sky day. So it is working enough. I think I can get away with a little more. So I'm just going to keep blending it. You can pull into that yellow. So it's pretty white right there. Okay, so it's like, you know, we pulled some of that yellow and blue down, and it left like a tint to that white spot, a tint. And if it's too light for you, you can take that lightest yellow over the alcohol marker blender, just lightly dab in a little over it, just to give a little bit more of a tint, but soft. Because you want your eye to go to there, and this is like shadow, right? You have objects, clouds and bees and wings and hair. That would provide a shadow. So we do it darker around there. And sometimes you can, with a nice waxy pencil like a Prisma, you can go back over and add a light yellow or light white, white right in here, which will make it even look a little more fluffy once it's fully dry. Give it a while. All right, so we got that area done. And then let's move on over here. Well, I'm going to do a little less of that blue and gray down here in the lower right quadrant. Okay. We'll do a very pale amount, more like what we did over here. So I'm going to take, I'm actually going to do, for this one, I'm going to do the blue first. We're going to do the blue-gray MG030. And a lot lighter or smaller of an outline. And not all of it. I'm just going to follow where Derya put some grayscale around the wings, under this wing. I got some pink on here, so we'll go over that. Under Mr. Bumblebee, right here around the bee, we can do it. Okay, a little camera glitch. I've been recording in a while. I forgot to check something. And we're gonna get some of this little grayscale down here. Go on down. Not much around the grass. Okay, so now let's get the darker gray, the BG050. We're going to go over that. Don't go too much into the white. We're leaving more white space for yellow here. Just kind of going over the blue. You can see a little tint of that blue through the gray. Okay, around the wings here. All right, let's do that lighter one, which is the B991. Again, this one I'll just bring a teeny little baby bit into the white area. Not much. Up here more, a little bit more than down below. I'm going to go around this bee. Just a teeny bit into the white. Not much. Leaving it more open for the yellow. Little bit of this sort of lavender-ish color between the blades down here and this little hollow area. All right, now we can move into the yellows. Let's go into the Lemon Chiffon Y196. Now I'm gonna go over those two colors into the white, leave some white for the other yellow. Okay, we're gonna blend right on over. Try to work a little faster. things are starting to dry. If you have markers that are almost drying out like this one, and yeah, it's gonna be a little challenging. I've been determined to use up these older markers. Like instead of using my brand new ones I only had for like a couple of months, because you know, the ones I love, the brand new set. But I am trying to use these more. When it dries up, I just throw them away one at a time until they're all gone. Okay, we're leaving more white. Let's grab the next yellow, the G193. And for this one, I can close up most of the openings. I only leave a little white right around the wing, right above the wing, maybe right there. I'm gonna get above the black grass blades. Little yellow around the grass blade, around the heart. Okay, I'm gonna just touch it, light amount, really light, swipe, teeny bit right there in the center. So it looks really light right there. Now let's start in with our blender. I'm gonna, again, start on the white areas, which will give it a little tint, take away the harsh snow white of it, make it look more dull, which is what you want, more cloudy. Now I'm gonna start blending my brown, gray, blue, and yellows. Just blending it all together, give it that fluffy look. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's looking like it did here. You see right around this leaf, it's a little more white right there because we didn't put that marker, so we want it to look a little more white. I might go with a white pencil and put a little more white right there. That'll help the leaf pop out more, make it look a little more highlighted. Okay, I will link below this printout where I found it. If it was Patreon, I'll make a note. I have to double check if it was Etsy or not. I'll link also my packs. I have several different brands I use for packs of alcohol marker blenders. You can buy very inexpensive, 4 or 5 in a pack. I will also link this paper, which is my favorite to print your own pictures at home from good quality alcohol markers. Okay, there we go. It's coming together. See how that looks? So see how it's a little white right there? That's to give it like almost like a highlight. There's still a tint of yellow. You can compare this white to there, but it's not like, it's like I got a little white there, a little white there, a little white there, a little white there. It kind of is almost like breaks in the sky or like highlights in the sky. So it gives a nice look. I'm going to continue. We're going to do this big area here. I'll show you how we do that one. And all of these, we're done with Ohuhus as well. These older ones with an alcohol marker blender. Haven't done my pencil work yet. I do toppers. I used 4 different greens on this grass, and I started running out of 2 of them, so I had to switch mid-attempt. So it turned out looking a little crummy, but some pencil will fix that up. Okay, so I didn't do, these areas are a little tricky around her face because I don't want to get any ink on her face. So I'm going to use the chisel and like hold it like this, the pointed part carefully. With the blue, we're doing the MGO30. I'm going to go around her ear and face because there's already some shadows there by the artist. We got one here. You can see some of these. I'm going to do my own right here. I'm going to do my own up here. We're going to do this whole area. We're going to go up here all along the border. As you can see, she already put some around the bow, around her hair. And really that's about it right there. All right. let's move on to the next one, the BG050. For that one, I'm going to do my own around her bow and then over this blue a little bit down because we're higher in the sky. We have more white space, so we can go down a little further. All right, we can fill a little more of the white area. I'll go around her bow, around this cloud. And I'm using, the chisel is handy in this regard because we're trying to cover a bigger surface quicker before, you know, while things stay kind of nice and juicy enough to blend well still. I'm going to go in the sky like that. All right. Next, we've got the B991. I'm going to go over everything and down a little bit into the white. Not a ton, but some. Okay, we're going to follow this little loop here. Gonna do some of that. We're gonna go over what we did and basically down. We're just bringing it a teeny, like 1/8 of an inch into its own white area. Careful around her ear. I think that's good enough. Now we can move into our yellows. We're gonna go into the Y196 Lemon Chiffon. And I'm gonna blend first at the line where the blue stopped into the white before that line dries. Oh gosh, my marker's losing its ink. This is the battle. I'm trying to get that area. Then I will overlap with the other color. But first thing you want to do is try to soften the line where the other color ends. Oh Lord, I love my lemon chiffon. It's one of my favorite yellows. No, I am still working quick. All right, let's move into the other yellow, which has more, the G193 Crescent Yellow. I'm going to, see, it's way more juicy. I'm going to blend that into the white. It's not as though, I'm having to work it a little harder. These are running low. I'm going to get most around her face. I'm going to go over these areas. All right. This was kind of shadow work, so I'm gonna go all the way over this with the yellow. Try to blend it. I left some white right there, you can see. I'm gonna get up here in this little nook. I'm gonna work it harder because my yellows are dying. All right, we're gonna do the blender. I'm gonna start working on this area. Hit the white first. Take away some of that starkness, then work in the yellow. We can pull, just pull down into the white. You can pull the yellow. And get all the little open areas here. I'm gonna get here in this little circle, and then we're just softening up that gray and blue, giving it a mottled, fluffy, kind of a cloudy look. Blend it all. Now, if you're gonna do pencil work, I let it dry for like an hour. I go do stuff and come back, or even the next day when I want to do my final pencil touches. Now, if it's a little too much white, I'm going to take that last yellow. Now that it's wet with the blender, I'm just going to glide over it. Just randomly tap in some yellow. There we go. Looking good. And you just have to keep working it. You know, this one, still feeling wet enough. Not as much as I'd like, but it's not till like, oh, I can't tell. There's a little bit. You need these nice and liquidy to get the effect without having to work quite as hard as I'm working. I'm just going over literally everything to make the sky look nice and fluffy. All right. And this is obviously a real quick and easy job. You know, I've spent often 3 times longer on skies. I just wanted to do this picture real basic so I can show you all how I do these kind of skies. When you know, the longer you take on, the more you work it, the better it'll look, obviously. But I just wanted to teach you a basic technique. So really, I just have to finish here and up here, little areas, and we will be done. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished this entirely off camera. It only took me a few minutes, touching a few things here and there. I have not gone with my pencil yet, but one thing you can do, I don't know if I have a good example here. This is a cobra. This is the Cobra Black Widow. You could take a pencil, whichever one, and you can do some touch-ups. It's dry over here. This one might not be waxy enough, but like you can try to put in a little yellow, more yellow if you want here or there around the edges. You know, you can work in a little yellow. Get a little pencil. Oh, it's going to be wet. This really needs to dry longer. Just highlight that a little bit more. You could take the white pencil is the best. Fill in the white pencil here, here, here. Don't have one in front of me, unfortunately, but yeah, so that is how I do a basic alcohol marker, you know, busy sky in small sections with alcohol marker. Pick some sky colors, darkest to lightest, and a real good liquidy alcohol marker blender. It doesn't have to be the same brand of the markers you're using. This works well with Ohuhu, Copics, Spectrum Noirs, anything that's real. I have shuttle art ones that would work on this as well. Not quite as high quality, but I will finish this off, and I'm going to do a video here real soon, finally, of everything I colored in the last few months, and you'll see me finish this and everything else I've done, and I hope to get back on track. And I'm going to re-examine my picture, see if I need to add a little more, a little more yellow here and there or something like that. Wherever necessary. If you feel, oh, I have too much white, I want to touch in a little more yellow. You just touch it up. And then, take your alcohol marker blender. You can get playing with it. If you re-moisten the alcohol marker, it can allow you to move around some ink. The alcohol will, evaporate from really quickly, and the ink dries. But if you re-moisten the ink with a wet alcohol marker blender, you can sometimes move around some more of that ink. So yeah, I blended some of that in. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in another video.